Welcome back. Government in banking. That is at the top of the agenda for Senate Finance Chairman Sherrod Brown. His plan would create a system of public bank accounts that do not operate for profit. Joining me right now is Florida Bankers Association President Alex Sanchez. Alex, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here. What's your take on this? What is the impact that something like this would have on the private banking industry?
Maria, good morning to you. Thanks for having me on from the rolling hills of Tallahassee. Maria, look, we're looking forward to working with Chairman Brown and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. This is an idea that even the Europeans have problems with. We have the strongest, best capitalized banking system in the world that's the most diverse. Many of our banks offer free checking accounts. Banks every day are providing capital to make homeowners and business owners out of Americans. They did for my immigrant parents 60 years ago. Public banks, Spain got out of the public banking system by their postal bank being sold to a private bank over 25 years ago. This is an idea that doesn't work. It's not worked in Europe. We certainly don't need it here in the United States. And the inference is, Maria, that by a public bank would provide capital to those who don't qualify for capital. At a public bank will provide capital to those who don't have access to capital at a private bank. Do we want to be making those type of risky loans? The essence of banking, Maria, as you know, is credit worthiness and credit risk. And the business school, one of the most prestigious business schools in Germany, the INSEAD Business School in Germany, did a report in 2010. And one of their recommendations, Maria, was to reduce greatly the number of public banks in Germany because of the competence of the boards and their lending practices. So it doesn't work. I mean, and so people like Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez are not looking at history and what other countries have done in this and want to create this so-called new idea.
Well, the issue is that AOC wants banks to be utilities. Like a utility. I mean, they want to make banks smaller and make them utilities. I mean, that is, one reason that there is a real need for scale. Look at all this M&A happening in the financial services sector. I mean, this morning alone, Wells Fargo announcing that it is selling its asset management business for $2.1 billion. It comes, of course, after M&T Bank and People's United announced a $7.6 billion merger yesterday. Alex, are you expecting further consolidation with or without new rulemaking in Washington?
We are, and that's just the nature of the banking industry. But with that consolidation, we still have great diversity, a great number of community banks, regional banks, and of course our larger banks, which Europe doesn't have. The community bank is an American phenomenon that doesn't exist in most countries in the world, certainly not in Europe. So to Chairman Brown and the progressives in Congress, look, our banks are there. Many of them, as I said, offer free checking account. And look, government shouldn't be in banking. Government is good at defense, at police, at fire, and other related services, Maria. What's next? Having banking be in bakery, or you remember in the old Soviet Union, when Americans went to the old Soviet Union, the Russians tried to buy their Levi and Wrangler jeans off them because what they had was Soviet-made jeans. The government's not good at these type of things, and that's what Chairman Brown and his team need to realize.
Well, we'll see. They've been talking about cutting the banks down to size for a long time, and if they get their ways, this is one way to do it. All this as the Chinese banking system is bigger than the U.S. I mean, look at the largest banks in the world. They're all Chinese. What do you want to say to those American companies that just got licenses to operate in Beijing? We're waiting on J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs to open up shop there and own their 100% of their banks, as the Chinese communists want to win here in the global banking war.
Well, you're absolutely right, Maria. When you look at the top 50 banks in the world, the top 5 are Chinese. There's 13 Chinese banks on that top 50 list globally. There's only 4 American FDIC banks on that list. So, yes, one day the Chinese are going to petition the Fed and our regulators to come here, and we're going to have to deal with that. But back to the question of public versus private banks. Look what the government did with the PPP program. They used the private sector banks to distribute those monies. The SBA couldn't do that as a government agency, distribute over $600 billion to small businesses. They used the banks because the banks have the infrastructure and the knowledge to do so efficiently. So, look, I mean, look, this is the greatest system ever created by man and womankind ever in the history of this earth. And let's use it. Let's use the greatest banking system that we have, Maria.
All right, Alex, good to see you this morning. Thank you so much. Alex Sanchez. We'll be right back.